Hello everyone, this is Airy, and today I will be taking a look at Strike Suit Zero. I know absolutely nothing about this game, aside from the fact that it looks like it's set in space, and you pilot a mecha. I saw the screenshot and read the description, and the only thing this reminded me of was an old PlayStation game named Omega Boost, which was very much a similar thing. Flew around in deep space on rails and blowing stuff up. This game came out a few years ago, and it was part of the Pummel Trove. So I'm sure it's a decent game. So let's see. The first thing that I usually do, of course, is look at the options. But instead, I'm actually going to show you something else, and to do that, I actually have to exit the game and delete all my save data. This message here, in particular, pops up during the first time you start the game, without any save data or anything. It says, the game's difficulty setting can be changed in the mission selection screen. So this kind of message is a little odd for a first-time startup. But it's pretty clear that it's telling me that I can't actually change the difficulty in the regular options menu. This notification never shows up again if you restart the game, so I just want to show you that. So let's look into the options menu proper now. Now, another issue that I immediately ran into is the fact that this game started not only in exclusive full screen, which by itself is not a big deal, but it started in 720p. Now my monitor is at 1080p, so that means that this game didn't detect it properly. And I need to do that now. And apparently the escape button does not work to exit this menu. So it means I always have to press save and exit. Initial technical difficulties aside, let's take a look at these options. VSync, anti-aliasing, so it's got a pretty normal set of things. Preferred fighter mode and strike mode camera, so I'm guessing you can play in third person or first person. Multi-monitor mode, that's a plus, I suppose. To render, various things on different monitors, but the fact that it didn't detect my resolution properly is kind of a negative, because if it does play around with all my Windows positions and all that, since my window resolution was forcibly changed. I had to rearrange everything. Now let's just press save and exit again. Let's look at audio. Subtitles, let's turn that on. So there's nothing particularly exciting here. There's regular 3 sections. Music. I can't click on the bar directly. Oh, I can. Okay, so that input's a little weird. I can't just click it, I need to click and move the mouse for that input to register. Let's just do that. Control options. Strike mode sensitivity. I have no idea what strike mode is. Switch controller. Okay, there's a bit of lag clicking that, but okay, that's not an that's an unorthodox way to put things. It's just changing the control options. Instead of, that should really say controller mode, I think. Okay, let's put it at gamepad. Okay, so there's no drop down menu either. Turn that off. And I have no idea if inverting Y would be appropriate. And no X inversion either. I know that's not really a common thing, but having that would have been nice. Oh, plenty of different binding options here. I'm guessing you pilot your mecha in 2 different ways. Something called flight mode and strike mode. Remapping screen. What does this mean? Well, I'm guessing it detects the inputs. Okay, let's not adjust any of that and see how the defaults go. Okay, so let's try Strike Suit 0. Press any key. Okay. I would have preferred a specific key actually, because of accidental misclicks. Okay, so I'm guessing this is some sort of tutorial first. A bit of a slow beginning, I suppose. Okay, so I have both a keyboard and mouse and a gamepad connected. So let's see if... nope, it does not support hot switching. Looks like I need to use my controller then. Yeah, so I suppose I need to go into the options to dynamically switch to, well, manually switch to. Ow. Okay, I should probably be paying attention instead of fiddling with my y-axis. Guess I don't need this mouse then. Let's invert my y-axis then. Where'd my input go? Oh, that. Okay. I can't modify the control options with the gamepad. I need to. I can't actually scroll. I can scroll here. I can't scroll here. Okay. Since I have two joysticks, I would expect to be... Okay, this is still feeling awkward. If I use the right stick to look around, it feels natural, but now that when I use the left stick to look around, the Y is inverted. So it looks like the Y inversion applies to both of the joysticks on my controller. That's going to take some getting used to. This feels very weird. Okay, now that it's not inverted, my left stick feels... Let's invert this back. Yeah, okay, this is still continuing to feel weird.
There before I do.
Gamepad left thumbstick down. Okay, I suppose that's another negative. It only uses text instead of icons for those controls, even though it had A, B, X, Y just fine. Okay, this feels... I only have one invert option for Y. I don't want it inverted on the left thumbstick, and I do want it inverted on the right one. But I can't do that. Axis mapping. See, that's the thing. There's two pictures. Right, or the going up and down. It feels intuitive to have it inverted when I'm using the left stick to pitch and roll, but it feels more intuitive to not have it inverted when using the right stick. Yeah, it's a muscle memory thing, you know? I just can't get used to these controls. Because one's inverted and both of them are inverted. Yeah, I'm still in... By the way, it's been like 15 minutes and I'm still in the tutorial. Let's turn that off. Now, let's see if I can actually just rebind this. Press start to begin binding controls. Let's see what happens when I press start. Okay, that doesn't appear to... What's happening now? All the buttons are missing. Okay, that's also intuitive because A is usually used to select stuff, and it just saves an exit. I press start to go into bind mode, and I do something to make it register positive and negative, even though it doesn't say what axis is being registered on screen. I'm actually hitting all of my thumbsticks right now. I'm just swirling them around. I guess I press start again to register it. There's no visual feedback on what on. Okay, I'm just gonna press reset and go back again. This introduction is very slow. There's barely anything. Press gamepad X to select a target directly ahead. And then it tells me to press gamepad X again. Okay, I guess it's just confirming I know where my... It's just confirming whether I know where the buttons are. What does that mean? Is that a mode change? It just says press any key. Okay, so there's a character limit to this window for some reason. Okay, why do I have to read all this? Couldn't this just come up when I'm actually shooting the thing? This could have just been fine as an on-screen... Okay, now my muscle memory is going wrong again, because... Okay, at this point... I'm just gonna be, like, sluggish like that this entire time, unless I figure out what's going on with these axes. Like, this shouldn't be difficult. Oh, what the... Why is this inverted? I thought I turned off inversion. What's the... Okay, now I can't reset the bindings. What's going on now? Okay, it's resetting to the previous settings. There's no default option. What do I do now? Okay, actually, you know what? At this point, I'm so confused. I'm just gonna change to... Right, that changes to... Actually, I'm not sure what that does. What does this do? This changes the stuff up here, but does this mean... Why would there be dead zones for joystick and keyboard? Oh wait, no. It's a joystick and keyboard. I want mouse and keyboard. Why would there be a dead zone for mouse and keyboard? Okay. Yeah, those two terms are confusing, because usually this is called change input device, and that is called switch controller. Oh, I wonder if I can play this game on the Wii, with the Wii remote, because this is exactly what Wii remote aiming is like. Okay, the controls for this are completely unintuitive. Saying keyboard all the time, or saying gamepad all the time, is also rather redundant. I don't see why this was... I mean, I suppose after I finally get through this tutorial and configuration, it will be quite fun, but at the moment it's not, because I'm trying... it's a bit inverted again. Why is that? I turned it off, but the controls are not inverted now. Okay, so even though it was off, it was inverted, and I turned it on, and it was inverted. There's just something about these controls that's not being saved. Oh, and another thing that goes against muscle memory, accelerate is on the left trigger, even though for a lot of vehicle-based games, accelerate is on the right trigger. And on the right trigger, it's just the gun. So that's kind of weird. Why can't I shoot missiles? Do I have no missiles? I'm holding down the right bumper. No. That was me pressing the B button, but can't I shoot missiles? Okay, I need to lock on first then.
So good.
Do I need to destroy everything? Okay, there's no indication of my speed. I'm accelerating, I'm slowing down. I see no accelerometer or speedometer. There's no sound indicator for whether I'm changing from tandem shot to individual shots.
And a lot more interceptors.
Looks like a giant jump gate. I haven't played EVE Online in ages, have I? Oh, and it interrupted the radio transmission. Wow, I wonder what they said. Press gamepad Y to fire MP. I know I'm using a gamepad. It's locked to the gamepad.
The Proteus. You have to do something about those interceptors.
When the tutorial came up, it locked my buttons. So even though I released the trigger, it continued firing until I pressed it again. There's no three-dimensional radar. I just realized there's no three-dimensional radar. So that means I only have 2D indicators for where my enemies are. Why is it locking onto the nearest one? I think it's locking onto the nearest one, like the actual nearest one, and not the nearest one on screen. Oh dear, it inverted. It just... my y-axis inverted again. All I did was go into the control menu, and it set my y-axis to on. Exit. Turn that off again. Okay, so this is definitely not Omega Boost. I like that much better. Oh, what's that? Okay, is the circle indicator telling me where... oh, that's telling me how to lead my targets. I mean, sure, it's all fancy to have it all, like, bright, glowing white and blue and stuff like that, but, you know, since most of space art is bright and glowing blue, I can't actually see the interface. Yeah, okay, that notification would have been useful during the tutorial area, where I was learning the controls. Oh, great! So I just finished the tutorial combat and now I'm in more combat. This is not very, this is not impressing me right now. Okay, since I'm going to be stuck in more of this basic combat, I'm going to take a minute and actually try the keyboard controls for real now. Okay. There's a considerable amount of dampening on this cursor movement. Like, the mouse sensitivity is really low, and I'm restricted in a ring area. Oh, it's still disorienting. 25%
of enemy targets destroyed.
Yay! Oh, there's an arrow on my carding cursor now. I am just spinning out of control. Okay, this is still very slow.
Need all the help you can get back here. I appreciate that, Reynolds.
Wait a minute, are those two different people?
Copy that. Okay, Adams,
oh, they sound too similar.
understand what the hell is happening out there.
Both of those people sound too similar. I thought they were the same person. Mission time. Half an hour. What is all this? Weapon unlock? What was that? What? Okay, I just unlocked these things. It popped up. too quickly and then disappeared. That didn't follow display standards for reading text. Well then, that was apparently the entire first mission instead of a tutorial. So for the menus, like in this, I can use both the controller and the mouse at the same time, but in-game I can't. Okay, I can change my difficulty now, but I don't care about that. 13 missions, that's not a lucky number. Apparently I unlocked stuff and I have no idea. I guess I just have to start a mission and go to some kind of setup screen? This isn't going to take another half hour, am I? I've already been recording for... Okay, apparently I unlocked a ship, but it's actually just the ship I was using. It's not... Can I get to the mecha sometime soon? That was the selling point of this game, right?
Very clear. Let's keep moving.
I guess there's going to be more to this at some point, but at the moment it's been pretty tedious. Okay, I just realized that it will be rather awkward to shoot both the main guns and the missiles at the same time, because they're both on the right shoulder buttons. I need to hold my controller differently. What I'm really doing is following the arrows. Like, I can't actually see my enemies most of the time. I guess that's what, you know, real-life space combat is like. Or at least real-life plane-to-plane combat is like. Can't see your enemies, but, you know, this feels kind of sluggish because, the range is pretty low. That radio transmission, overrode all my sound alerts. I couldn't hear the sound alert. Why was that so much easier than the recommended weapon? Okay, so at this point, I don't think there's any more commentary to make, but I am still wondering where the mecha is. Because, you know, the main selling point, I presume, was the fact that I could fly a giant robot. And this is the second mission. I've been playing for an hour now. Gone through at least 1.5 full game cycles. And the main selling point is not here yet. Which is rather confusing. Although, to be fair, I guess I did take quite a while trying to figure out the controls. Ugh, why is this taking so long? This battle is so slow. This is taking a really long time. How many ships are there? Oh, that's a destroyed planet. I thought that was a nebula. But they just went all Death Star on everything, didn't they? Yes, okay, when do I... Damn voiceover overrode my warning sounds. And because everything here is red, I can't actually see the missile warning. I can't actually see the tiling cursor either. I really regret mentioning Omega Boost at the beginning of this video now, because this isn't Omega Boost. It's just fighter craft in space. Where's the last one? Okay, I don't know if that's my target or not. It's just lock on. Yep, that's just a regular ship. Where is my objective? Where's my objective? That's a regular ship. Where's my objective? I'm pretty sure I'm about to fail my mission. And my lock-on indicators keep pointing me to enemies instead of objectives. Okay. Your ship was destroyed. Okay, so there's no fancy death scene either. That's a shame.
This time, Reynolds.
Don't worry, sir. The Mercury is inbound. Just sit tight.
I think I should put an epilepsy warning on this video.
Take down the torpedoes and scratch those corvettes. Keep your distance from the enemy frigate.
I probably should have watched the opening movie to get context, but the whole 720p thing, my resolution, caused a few issues. Okay, so I still haven't unlocked some kind of mecha transformation. Nothing in the tutorials told me how to transform either. And it's been about an hour and a half. Oh, and the title screen changed. I guess that's nice, it reflects the mission that I'm currently on. But, it is kind of repetitive so far. I haven't unlocked many weapons, and they're all kind of the same. And yes, I know I haven't done 2 missions, but, like I said, the selling point of, this game, or at least, you know, the thing on the cover of the image when I was downloading the thing, it showed a robot. Okay, so let's review. The controls aren't very great. It didn't detect the controls keep resetting all the time, particularly in regards to the inversion of the y-axis. Every time I enter one of these screens, it kept inverting. Even though I set it to turn off, it just keeps turning back on because that was the default. I'm not really sure what the problem is with that. It says something about strike mode. I'm guessing that's when I would transform into a mecha, but I've done 2 missions. That's 2 entire game cycles, and I still haven't seen it. I'm still flying a regular plane. That was the main selling point, and I haven't seen that yet. The controls are also quite awkward, because it locked me into the gamepad, and it was rather difficult to change to the keyboard and mouse. It was also rather annoying to be changed to a 1280 by 720 resolution as well. Now, I'm perfectly okay with exclusive full screen, although it can cause issues with multi-monitors, but the fact that it couldn't detect my normal screen resolution was an issue, because when that happens, it moves all of my windows around, resizes all of my windows out on my desktop, and it is generally quite frustrating to try to resize everything back to what it was. The game itself was alright, but it was rather repetitive because the enemies were all the same. I'm guessing this was supposed to be the tutorial, but it was way too long for a fairly simple game cycle of, you know, flying around to a destination just shooting up enemies. It taught the controls way too slowly. So yeah, I suppose that's it. I'm probably not going to check this game out again. Thank you for watching. This was Strike Suit Zero, an indie game by someone or other. There's no credits here on the main screen, actually. That's a little unusual. Okay, that's unusual.